Peace of love, the Maat, cipher. We're back for part two. Main topic was on self-knowledge itself, self-knowledge, knowledge, wisdom, understanding of who you are. As we was growing up, a lot of us went through the church and they was teaching us about this Trinity, right? The Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. You can't get to God, but the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Well, that's the Trinity versus the truth. Truth be told, the Trinity is the woman, the man, and the child. Without this 120 degrees of each body, you could not complete the pyramid. Also, the Trinity within is the mind, body, and soul, which everybody has until they give it away, or it becomes construed or tampered with or toxic or become poison to the point that you can't get the venom outside yourself. Everybody looks at the term God as a man, which is very improper. The creator of humanity is the woman, and it can be proven scientifically. They try to tell you the creator was a man, masculinity. Well, if it was masculinity, that means man would not have emotions, which is feminine. That means he got it from the counterpart. A man cannot get pregnant. A hermaphrodite can get pregnant. An is it unisexual, basically born with two gentles, they can get pregnated. But that's because they take more of the woman than the man. They still can have the penis and the vagina and still be able to be pregnated and produce a child. That's because the feminine, the woman, really controls majority of the body, the womb, or where you came from, the womb. So man cannot exist without woman. And the Trinity is backwards. So the way that the world teach you is a lie. Everything they teach you is reverse psychology, period. The Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Well, that's a form of homosexuality, which you cannot produce with homosexuality. A woman cannot be a homosexual at all. It's impossible. I will open the floor to see anybody that want to challenge it, just so we can get some dialogue going. Anybody want to challenge that statement?
It's just a word.
Huh?
I said it's just a word. That's all it is. Homosexual is just a word. It's a label. That's all it is. It's been tagged with.
Right. So when you use the word homosexual, you're talking about man that's outside of his nature. Two men can enter each other. That's because they hold a magic stick. Two women cannot enter each other and put semen into each other. It's impossible. I don't care what you do. It is impossible. You can hug, you can tussle, you can trumble, you go get the strap, but you still not a homo. Now, when two men have two wands and they intermingle with each other, and this guy do some old weirdo shit with milk, he still cannot impregnate nobody. Not another man. There's not enough chromosomes for that. So women could not be gay even if they wanted to be gay. It still don't work like that. The laws of nature don't let it work. And men that try to be gay, they catch the results behind it. They get summoned with all these bacteria infections because two male bodies, their body are like allergic to each other. So once you start dealing with each other, the body rejects. It starts sending the brains different stimulations to do this and do that. It says that you're trying to operate as a woman, which you're not. etc., and they start rejecting, and your immune system becomes weak. Mother nature and the laws of the land is very real. You can apply these laws to yourself, or it would apply the law for you. So it's like you can go put gas in the car, or you can run out of gas, and now you got to find a way to put gas in the car. How you want to do it? You can make it the easy way or the hard way. So the Trinity was taught to you backwards: Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. No, it's mind, body, and soul. You must connect all three with each other to become the master Mason. That's what they call it, the master Mason. But Mason is my son, mama's child. He comes from the womb, the woman. But these people are held to hold this confident that the woman is beneath the man. Well, how would you be able to reproduce without the woman? The woman is equal to man and actually above man. In Washington, that's why this is a matriarch. The man could never take over the whole domain of Washington Empire. It goes against everything that Washington stands for. The man is the warrior, he's the protector, he's the provider, he is to protect the woman at all costs. And that was the problem that happened with our empress. They thought that if they get her knocked off, that they can turn Washington Empire into a federal compound, which Joe Washington was a federal agent. He worked for the FBI while his mother was the empress of Washington Empire. And that's why she never crowned him. And now that she's gone, he feel like he's obligated to take the seat. But the seat was given to Ramsey Bey. And nobody could ever change that, ever. Even though that Wendy's Washington's her granddaughter, etc. Wendy Washington don't know what's really going on. She's being manipulated by her father. But we know what the Empress set up and how she wanted this empire to be ran, and we're still going to stand on that. That's why y'all going through this introduction. Some of this stuff you might have heard before, but you might need to hear it again. But you have to find knowledge yourself. You got to understand who you are. I can't teach you to be you because I'm not you. You have to understand who is self. Selfness, not selfless. Selfness. Find the essence of you. Love who you are. Don't change for nobody. Even in the one-on-ones, to teach the people to be themselves. Nothing other than that. While we're on this introduction, Allah's original name is Allat. You can go look it up. A-L-L-A-T, Allat. Or Allat, A-L-I-L-A-T. Or A-L-L-A-T-U, Allat. That is feminine, the moon goddess. They tell you it's a feminine version of Allah, which you should look up Al-Uzza, A-L-U-Z-Z-A, and Menat, M-E-N-A-T, the female divine, the goddesses, the trinity of the woman, the creation of how man and woman united to bring forth the best part, which is understanding the stars. So to take you through these degrees, knowledge is symbolic to what? Anybody?
The man.
The mind.
Mind, man.
So spell it. Men, M-E-N. Mind, M-I-N-D. Add a D to that M-E-N-D. What is that?
Men.
Men means to fix. Amend. Amend means what?
To amend, like you said, to fix, put together.
Now look up mend. The word mend. To mend.
Like this. It's glue. Why were you like?
Because I was using it, but I'm not using it anymore.
You get anything yet?
Nah, hold up. Look at this.
Mend. Mind. Mend. Mind. Only things missing is one's I, one is E. The pronouncing. Mend means to repair. So if your mind has been programmed intellectually, that means you must go back and repair it. How is it mind, body, and soul if your mind is broken? You've been programmed, diluted. So you're not in the correct mind state. You must go back and mend. There's degrees to these words in the way you pronounce them. She, her, girl, woman, these have different meanings and degrees to them. They're all feminine, but it has different degrees to them. Man is symbolic to the word knowledge, which is symbolic to the sun, which is the foundation of the solar system. Know the ledge before you fall off the edge. Knowledge, separate know and ledge. If you don't know what you're doing, then you're going to be held accountable and suffer the consequences of the reaction. Know the ledge, knowledge. What is the word wisdom symbolic to?
The woman.
The woman is symbolic to what?
The moon.
And what else?
Higher consciousness.
I'm on a Zoom meeting.
Tahuti.
The writer. So the higher consciousness, wisdom, the wise dome, this is inside the universe, the mind going to a higher degree, the higher levels of thinking. Wisdom, wisdom. What is a dome? A domain. That is the degrees of what? 360 cipher, infinity, circulations, energetic, must keep rotating, round and round. How do you pay attention to the time, but you don't pay attention to your mind? How do that work? You wonder what time it is, but you don't know what thoughts you're thinking and what you need to fix. Look, listen, and observe, and then make a respectfully decision. Understand it. What is that symbolic to?
To the child, to the stars.
To To the child in the stars. Can you give me a number of how many Washita tribal members is around the earth? Do you want to guess?
I don't even know what. I don't even know. I don't know.
The FBI asked the Empress, how many tribal members do you have in your empire? You want to know what her response was?
Wasn't it like as many as the stars or something?
As many stars as it is in the sky.
Yeah.
Facts. Facts.
She was so precise with her answer that you couldn't hold her accountable for what she said or use it against her. It was very symbolic. It went over their head. Probably fucked their conscience up. And that's how we have to respond to people when they become ignorant. Symbolism. They do it all the time. On an airplane, if you get on an airplane and you look down at these cities, you will see that they light up a certain way and they give off different symbols and lighting. You see these highways as a kid, the men should know this. As a kid growing up, then y'all had them race car tracks with them ugly little remotes and watch that little thing go around the track all day. You thinking that you controlling it, but it really just going in one motion.
Yeah.
You feel like you speeding a car up, but it's still set at a certain speedometer. That was energy being shifted through that little track. It's still producing energy that went somewhere. The things that you play with as a child, they still do to you right now as a grown person. When you get on the highway, now you control the speed of your car, but you're still going over magnetic and energy portals that these people have produced on the highway. Don't you see those little yellow lightings that they got on the highway, the lines, the lighting? All of this is an energetic tracking. They produce energy, some type of G that these people use, and we don't even know it. Think about it. We're going against the machine. They know everything you do. This is the matrix. Numbers is everything. Everything comes with a number. When you do construction work, you have to cut the wood at a certain degree. That's a number. You can be a cashier, somebody pay you, you still have to count. That's a number. When you open up your telephone, how many numbers do you have on the keypad? What's the highest number?
Nah.
These games these people playing with y'all, we don't even pay attention. You can't say they lied to you, you just ain't know no better. At church started on Sundays. Most church start at 9 a.m. But guess what? There's now police on the street because guess where we know where everybody's at? Why are we going to issue out all these officers to patrol when we know where the mass is at right now? All this stuff is a ritual. It's mathematics. It's symbolic. It's Masonic. It's ancient work. They use against if you're not a master, you're a puppet. There's two people in this world. One is a master and one is a slave. And you have to pick which one you are because there's no such thing as in between. Slaves don't talk to masters crazy. And masters don't talk to other masters crazy. They have to compromise because they respect the degrees. The highest degree is to find yourself and know who you are. You have to tap in with your energy. Now, I mean, your shift might be to the west. His shift might be to the right. So you think it's sacred to pray to the east? Or is that another brainwash demonstration? What makes praying to the east so holy? Because if you was in China, you would have to pray to the west.
Oh,
And
yeah,
that's
that's
that's because there's something called a Kaaba.
yeah, that's what you're saying. They do tend to eat. That makes sense.
What is the Kaaba? You know what the Kaaba is?
It's the isn't that that's the main building. That's where everybody do their prayers at. They try to journey to there, right?
Ain't that a box?
It is. It's shaped like a box.
Don't those come with 90-degree angles? That square makes 360. That pyramid makes 360. That cipher makes 360. Long as they're connected. So are you praying and making salat and putting energy to a cipher, a transmutated circle? Do you really know why you praying to the east? And where you giving power to? Why are you powering up things and not even powering up yourself within? You say, damn, she look good. Well, damn, I look good too. So you see how much energy you put into other things instead of yourself. You have to be yourself. You have to build yourself. How you know the devil is evil? Who told you this? How you know is if Allah was good? Who told you this? Where did you get this from?
Parents and parents got it from the books.
How you know demons ain't the man? Demon. Spell it. Are we speaking English or are we speaking Latin?
Latin.
See, these people don't use English in court. They use Latin terms. But then they want you to speak English when you're talking to them. You see the games that these people play? Go in the courtroom and speak straight Latin. These people wouldn't even know what to do. Because nobody speaks the old Latin language no more. So a surjus and a primogenitor and a pro se, all of these are Latin terms. Mata operanda, you mean meth for operation? They're water washing. Do you know all the gods that are named in the entire world?
No.
See, to become a universal adept, you have to study every religion and its culture and apply the truth and decipher the lie. Noble Drew Ali was sharp. And he did not give everybody everything they needed because he only could give it to you in parables. The divine prophecies is in parables. Yes or no? It's not in simple form. You have to be able to decipher this. When you really go back and read about these prophets and these different orders, a lot of stuff will start making sense. Did you know Muhammad was ran out the city because they was going to kill him before he died? Nobody talks about it. Yahshua HaMashiach was crucified by his own people. Noble Drew Ali was murdered by his own people. Malcolm X was murdered by his own people. Dr. Martin Luther King was murdered by his own people. Joseph Smith of the Mormons was murdered by his own people. The Empress was assassinated and set up by her own son. She didn't want to turn Washington Empire into a federal compound. Or right now, it would be federal citizens. They took her jewelry, they ran in, got the titles of the land, etc., etc. But she taught Ramsey Bay so much that they couldn't stop the information being leaked. Now they control what we're doing. On Facebook, if you're telling the truth, they're going to minimize the people coming on your page. It's their world. You like, dang, I had 130 likes the other day. Now I only got 2 because nobody can see it. See how they control this system? But our system is beyond theirs. We the one that gave them the system.
They control the algorithms.
So y'all really have to pay attention to what's going on. The world is lost. These lessons that you will learn in these cheap classes not for the world. It's not of the world. These people will never comprehend. If they did, don't you think they would have did something by now? Your grandma got beat, she got whipped, she got raped, and she got given a Bible that she better listen to what that man says that's reading it. Doesn't mean everything he reading is the truth. He might be telling the damn lie and not even reading out the motherfucker.
A lot of them did that.
But that's what she accepted. And our people had came into acceptance of they're okay with living a lie. Because living a lie is just being okay. And that's where we lost our people at. If you still going to a church and the church has been exposed during the COVID-19, you's a fucking fool. That means you okay with being a fool. That means you pay a pastor to lie to you and you're okay with that. Same thing for these masjid. They're not submissive to Allah because they put on masks and getting vaccinated just like the Christians. What is the difference? The Hinduism, they're not going for that shit at all. Haven't seen a Hindu be vaccinated yet. Are people being brainwashed? And we're being conquered all over again by these different religions. These religions, all the different scientists belongs to us. The foundation of all these religions go back to Kemet. We are the people of Kemet. Why you think they come after us so much? Once our pineal glands start kicking back in and we get back to higher self, these people will not be able to do anything to us at all, physically, mentally, or spiritually. Because remember, it says, I made man in the likeness of us and gave him domain and made him ruler over the earth. There wasn't no Albions in the beginning. They did not exist. It's fucked up that some of our people started laying with reptilians. How you think these people came about? Some of our own peoples try to experiment. That's where you get the big head scientists etc., etc. They started experimenting with shit they weren't supposed to do. Like, think about it. You think Adam and Eve was kicked out the garden for eating a motherfucking apple off the tree? You might
No,
well
it's all
say,
symbolism.
hell now.
That was real symbolism for real.
So you do know that Adam's first wife was Lilith.
Correct.
Absolutely.
Lilith left Adam because Adam started gaining gay tendencies.
I thought it was because Lilith would not be submissive or
That's what I
under
thought. I thought
Adam.
it was someone to submit.
She stopped being submissive when he stopped
It's never
obeying.
submissive.
She stopped being, well, she was never submissive to him because she knew who she was. She was equal. Because if you ask these people, what is the story behind before Adam and Eve? They wouldn't tell you. And it's all chopped out.
The whole Genesis fragment.
It's a before that. Like they won't remember it.
Right.
He watched their mind. Like he made them forget.
Remember, it was more people than just Adam and Eve. Remember, Cain killed Abel and went off and got married. So where did them people come from? You got to start asking these questions. Lilith left Adam and found
Lilith left Adam. Adam or Allah, whatever you want to call God, made a second woman. Being that Adam saw her being created had nothing to do with her because he didn't know what the internal structure was.
Right.
And then Eve was made of his own rib. From Adam and Eve came 13 children. Well, 13 to 15 children.
Right.
Most of us talk about Cain and Abel and leave out the third child, who is the most important,
Seth.
which was Seth.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
They don't talk about Seth like that. Also, they don't tell you that Abel and Cain is not Adam's blood son. One of them is his son, which his son was Cain. Abel was not his son.
Also, Cain did not kill his brother out of jealousy as well. That is also another popular misconception. Cain and Abel were told to give a sacrifice of their best. The first sacrifice, Cain gave up fruits and vegetables because he was the tiller of the field. Abel was over animals pretty much.
Right.
So when they made the sacrifices, God accepted Abel and turned his face from Cain. And when Cain asked Adam, where was my sacrifice lacking? Adam told him, give that which is your best. And because he loved his brother, he prized his brother over all things, he made him his sacrifice.
Right.
See, that's a whole part of the Bible that gets left out, along with a few other really important things.
Right. And it goes back to, they keep thinking that Cain and Abel was making a sacrifice to God, but really it was going back to Adam.
Mm-hmm.
Adam was, son, why have you brought me this fruit and vegetables? Nigga, if you don't go get that pork chop out of the motherfucking refrigerator and put that shit on the stove, what's wrong with you?
Not
So
a pork chop.
when you really break this stuff down, it gets crazy because it becomes an urban book. Like it really becomes, if they really broadcast the real things that happen, it will become an interesting movie. The same thing, that's why I said study Genesis. Abraham's wife is Sarah. Sarah is Terah's son, which is Abraham's sister. But they tell you Hagar is a housewife, well, a house slave that was an Egyptian, which is another backwards story because Egyptians wasn't slave to nobody. So how would you get an Egyptian slave housewife? Impossible. They won't go on for that. So these are the stories I want you to go back and dig into and really find the logical out these stories because it has been water washed all the way up to now, even to people confusing the devil with Lucifer. Lucifer was the son of the morning, the light bringer. Do you know what it means to be a light bringer? That means if you're in complete darkness, somebody has to shine the light so you can make it through the tunnel. The research I have on Lucifer, he was kicked out the order for enlightening the people of the earth. He was not supposed to enlighten us at all. We are supposed to stay in a dumb state of mind.
Hold on, where's the little hand raised thing?
That's it. I was about to say something.
There we go.
Go for it.
I couldn't keep quiet on this. Lucifer was kicked out of heaven for two reasons. For one, you might as well as call Lucifer being the first revolutionary, and because he actually had a point. See, it goes back to that conversation between God and Lucifer that no one talks about. There was a conversation. Why do you choose this thing over us? And what he meant was, why do you choose man over angel, whereas you have to make man love you and follow you, whereas we follow you over with free will. Basically, it's a thing of favoritism. God was playing favorites over man, or playing favoritism over the two. And because of that, along with the infatuation that he had with Lilith, that got him put out or kicked out, and a third of the angels.
I wanted to say that too. I wanted to say that
So,
Lilith went to Luke. Yeah.
so what if Lucifer and God had the same power, but just different energies, like in a different capacity?
I mean, I can
See,
believe
and see
that.
that is true. That actually, God actually says this. Let me see if I can find the verse. I want to say it's in Ezekiel, where he pretty much is telling us that I am both light and darkness, where you can't have one without the other. I want to say it's in Ezekiel. I'm not sure, but I'll find it and get back to you on it. But he pretty much tells us that he is both, and you can't have one without the other. Hold on, that's gonna hurt the hell out of me if I don't find it now. Give me 1 second.
These are something that y'all have to really dig into. That's why I want y'all to go into Genesis, study that, and master that. Because these are master mason degrees. Like, these masons know what they're talking about when they deal with this. That's why they turn into preachers. Because it's fun for them. Now they get to play with their own science. And you get to pay them for it. They know how to decipher, but you don't know how to decipher. And I already broke down to y'all that a maxim, America is a maxim, Africa is a maxim, maxim is America. You want to write this out for yourself to see?
I was thinking, so that apple, so that was knowledge though, right? Like,
Yeah,
it
that was
opened her eyes up, right?
Yes, information. You get to use your mind at free will. See, you
It
gotta
made sense if you
understand,
chose to see his
remember,
nakedness.
in God we trust. Don't the government act as God? They get to control what you do. Stop at a red light. Sign in. Tell me what you're doing. You got paid today. I can track that. You got paid tomorrow. I can track that. You're on the internet. I can see you through your phone. Everything you sign with us is a contract. Everything you do comes with a contract. You'll get a phone. You got to agree to that agreement plan. That's a contract. You got paid. You got a contract with your employer that goes back to the government. That's a contract. You buy the soda today. You pay with money or you pay with a card. That's a contract. That receipt is your contract. You can prove that you paid for it and you agreed to get a soda and you gave this much amount of money. It's a contract. Anything that doesn't have a contract is unlawfully. You can't prove it. There's nothing you can do about it. You pay me to do work and there's no contract drawn up or agreement. Guess what? I don't have to pay you for the work you did.
Okay, not to Islam, not to cut you off, but it's Isaiah 45, verse 7. I am
45
from the
verse.
light. Yeah, I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I am the Lord that doeth all these things, create both light and darkness.
Sweet. Okay.
Yeah, I form light and darkness. I make what's good, happy, and healthy, and I create woes and eternal ones, make them one and all. But this goes back to Genesis. You see how so quick that went over somebody's head? The earth was out formless. Let it be light, so it was light. Let it be dark, so it was dark.
There is another verse that I want to bring meaning to. Hold on. That is another misconception.
Don't forget about Psalms 82, verse 6.
I need to pull up.
Here we go. Matthew 10:34.
Oh, I done read that before.
So you know where I'm going.
Oh, man. I used to eat these Bible thumpers up with these. I'm telling you, they could not they would go to a frozen state of mind.
And isn't this Christ's own words?
Yes, it is.
It says, do not suppose that I have come to bring peace on the earth. I do not come to bring peace, but a sword. Do not imagine that I came to bring peace to the earth. Well, that's the same thing. Okay, basically what he's saying is don't assume that he is one thing or the other.
Can it be just?
Mm-hmm.
And he said he did not come to bring peace. That means we're in an act of war. It's a revolution that has to be fought. Remember, it's only 144,000 that's chosen. Now add all them numbers up. Add them up. And what number you get?
9.
Here we go again. Y'all better quit playing with the 9, I'm telling you. Ain't it 9 ethers? So this is stuff you got to get into. I got to get y'all through this first degree, because when you run into preachers and ministers and all these different people that hold these secretive degrees and part of these secret societies, then you'll see what I'm talking about. Oh, shit. Check his demeanor. Look at his footwork. Look at the signs he's throwing at me. At my uncle's funeral, I'm going, we having a sign door. They keep throwing up 7s. I'm throwing the G back at them. We going back and forth without even talking. They throwing signs talking about be submissive. I'm throwing signs, you submit. I'm the original, you submit. I got the three musketeers sitting here throwing symbols at me the whole entire time.
Hermes, Arthos, and Parthos.
So you gotta understand like what letters behind the number 7. What
talking about
letters
this?
behind the number 7?
Thought it was a G.
It is G. G for geometry, but 7 for the 7th dimension, the 7th degree. That's why us as ancient Moorish rites, we carry the 7. On the back of my Washington shirts, you have the parallels with the 7, which is degrees. Because even earlier, I got on a phone call. My uncle was a worship master and he paid a lot of dues to the Masonic Temple, Lodge 42. And when a lot of people don't know is a lot of Masonic lodges, when they pay dues, that goes towards their insurance policy, which that insurance claim goes back to the Masonic lodge. So they get a grip of money from you, as well as they have to pay off your Eastern Star, which is your wife. My uncle had put more than $20,000 into Lodge 42. And they try to write my aunt a $300 check. Nah, I need to talk to your secretary. I'm not a part of the Masonic order, but I'm in the order where I can say what I need to say for my aunt that's Eastern Star. Y'all know he paid dues. He's in good standing. Cut the check. Cut the shit and cut the check. Now they got to fix it. Now all they want is a death certificate. But I'm telling you, this shit get wicked. Once you get into this science, this shit gets wicked. You're going to look at the world different. You're going to you're going to wonder why cars around you moving a certain way. Or this man just happily get out the semi truck with a G on his hat.
That happened all the time. They always remember.
Because you can't deal with the ancient order like you deal with your own. See, once you the gatekeepers are told to keep your information sacred from you. They're to protect you from you. So once you find out who you are and you start unlocking these chambers, things change. Even with the Moorish temple. The temple is not in Mecca. The temple is right here. This is where the temple started at. So if this ain't sacred and you not upholding the wisdom inside of this, what are you doing? Just because you go to a masjid or a temple every week, that don't make you more righteous, and that does not elevate your mind. How? How do you sit in a place for 40 years and still ain't learned shit or even step up in position? How? You fly a plane for 30 years, but now you don't own a plane. Eventually, you should be able to own a plane. It's called elevation. These are steps that you must take. If I go up 2, you're coming up 1. If I go up 3, you come up 2, you pull somebody up 1. I go 4, you go 3, you bring him 2, he brings 1. You see how this ladder works? We have to be able to carry each other up to the next level. That's what this chief class is about. You going to the next level and you pulling the next person up. We have to be able to spread our wings and give out the proper demonstration and enlighten our people. It's certain things I didn't master, but the basic fundamentals I have. And certain chiefs, when y'all do become chiefs, you will have a different flow or a different way of how you teach your people, which that's okay. I'm not going to teach similar to Dr. Aleem or Dr. Philolade El Bay. I have my own style. but we still reaching the mass and we're still climbing this ladder. My elder pulled me up the ladder. He told me to pull your brothers and sisters up with you. If we got a piece of bread and we hungry, we gonna have to cut this bread so everybody can eat. Or that's when the jealousy and envy start coming in. We all have a role that we must play. And we all have to get onto this science. I don't want to think for you. I want you to think for yourself or to be equal. I need you to cover my left and I cover your right. If you step up, I stand behind you. If I step up, you stand behind me. Have to be able to move like a unit. Look how the body functions. The leg move when you tell it to move, the hands move. You see how I'm moving and I'm talking at the same time. The body is functioning off one brain. It can move, it can motion together. Our people have been disbobulated, deluded. They're living an illusion. They're waiting on something to happen that's never going to happen. Pray without action doesn't mean nothing. It means nothing. Just like, do I still got it there? That's just like the color white. Nobody is white. You see my skin? Even if I put black paint here, I wouldn't be black. You see how they confuse us just with colors and crowns. You ask a person what color they is, why not ask them what origin they come from? Because I think the origin would go more in depth of why they act the way they act, what's their culture, their traits, their hadith, etc. Find out who you are. Find out your bloodline. That's one of your assignments, is to trace your bloodline. Trace your bloodline as far as you can and get the history on it. Don't just tell me that, well, Noble Drew Ali is the prophet, so it makes me a Moorish American. That's not valid. Well, I'm tied to the Empress because she's just Washington. That doesn't make it valid. Well, my granddaddy's John C. Freeman, which he was control of the monarchies over there in England. My great-great-grandmother is from South America, and she was one of the princesses of the Mayana, which is the Mayan Empire, which was infiltrated by Cortez Hernandez. Now that's deep. Guess what? These people got public records of your bloodline. You know, if you really royal, you would never know you was royal because these people would never let you know. They would never tell you. Because a lot of people that's in these seats that claim they're royal, they're not even royal. They just manipulate the system and know that you can't ever come back and challenge the throne because you never knew your throne existed. The United States Corporation is a religious corporation that is ran by the Roman Catholic Church that's under the guidance of Queen Elizabeth, who is dead. Why you think the United States is really fucked up now, for real? Yeah, Queen has died. So who is the head of your nation?
Why are they still here? Why they still trying to control us if they don't even got nobody? What's the?
Why you think they run around here with their head cut off? Don't know what the fuck to do. The last king is Donald Trump. Remember, he's the son of the Holy Seas. He's the only last one left that has the degrees to hold that position. Think about it. Did you go back and research his original name? His granddaddy came from Germany.
Yeah.
Germany. At 16.
Yeah. It was his last name was Trump or Drump or something like that.
Trump with a D. Mm-hmm. So who the fuck really is the immigrant? Huh?
And how did he hold? If he's German, then how was he able to become president? I still don't.
Remember, this is a religious corporation. You have to be appointed by popes.
True.
Noble Drew Ali set up the Moorish Temple as a religious corporation. That's what they say on the back. On your 101s, corporation, religious affidavit of organization.
Inc.
Incorporated.
E.
So you know what's so fucked up? That the Moorish Temple is under the Roman Catholic Church jurisdiction. But these Moors do not want to talk about that. That's why there's a very big difference from Washington.
So question, if at any point we become too powerful and a problem, what is stopping them from not wiping us out?
The melatonin.
Oh, yeah.
He's sacred.
Why would they wipe you out when they need you? That's just like if I got slaves that's picking corn and tomatoes, and why would I wipe out my slaves? Then I'm gonna have to get off my ass and go out there and pick that shit then.
No, what I'm saying is those rebellious slaves, because ultimately, because we are conscious and bringing this knowledge, we shift from becoming the regular slave to the problematic slave, and we all know what happens with problematic slaves.
It's the
You get what
way.
I'm saying?
It's the way you go about it. The information I had, if that was the case, I should have been dead a long time ago. As soon as I hit that city council, they should have swiped me out. It's a bloodline thing. As I said before, these people know who you are. And certain people are protected because these people swore an oath to protect that bloodline. Like I wish my sensei was here because he's a Freemason. He's a master Mason. He got pulling that stuff. And I asked him, I said, do you know who I am? He said, yeah, you're a warrior. So I said, are you here to kill me or protect me? He said, I'm here to protect you. I said, what about other people? He said, other people, it don't matter. They'll just be murdered. So it comes with a royal bloodline. Remember when the FBI ran into the Empress house, they was trying to find charges to lock her up on. They could not do nothing with the Empress at all. It was a bloodline thing. But the Moors that had something to do with that drug trafficking, they gave them boys 100 years or better. Right now, we're at a crossroad. Like I said, only 144,000 is chosen. This time around, the ones that sell out our people, they're going to get the worst consequences that they ever faced in decades. And they're going to wish that they never became traitors. Because shit is hitting the fan on a worldwide level. I don't think people are paying attention to what's going on. They're blocking Haitians from getting over here to America, but they're not blocking Mexicans from getting over here. Them Haitian people have an ancient bloodline, and that's why they're so disbobulated. Remember, we're in the retrogrades, we're in shifting right now, the magnetic plates are moving around. It's a whole bunch of stuff going on in the universe. And the ones that's chosen, ding, your ancestors are protecting you. Just because they're physically dead don't mean they can't roam around with energy. What you think a light ball is? Is that not energy?
Yeah. You seen that
Can
on
a
Harry
force
Potter?
can a force come into a room and shut up all the lights without even touching your box, your electrical box? I don't think people really comprehend what's being spiritual. They think spiritual is I put on these beads and playing with the roots. It's deeper than that. Martial arts prove that. Punching through concrete and not breaking your fist. Hitting the top of a glass bottle and breaking it with the chi, that's energy. Remember, God is within. Once you tap in with your higher self, these people know who to play with and who not to play with. You can give off certain energy to people and they won't even say nothing to you. They know better. When you look at your children and give them a certain look, don't they know what you're talking about without you saying anything? The ancient language is sign language. Even Jesus was a part of the silent brotherhood. All this stuff comes with Masonic degrees. The cross, north, east, west, south. Symbolism. When you born, where are you born at?
Most people be born in a hospital.
When you die, where you going? Where you gotta go before you go to the dirt?
The morgue.
Huh?
The morgue.
There's another ritual that you gotta go through. That's when everybody wearing black.
Oh yeah, your funeral. Yeah.
Is this not Masonic rituals?
It is a ritual. Every last bit of it.
And people participate in it without even knowing.
I was having a conversation with one of the empresses, right? And she said something, and she was like, at this point, you can't really say people don't know. They just choose not to believe it, and that made a lot of sense. Real.
So I'm gonna tell you what happened the other day. So I'm a high priest of the Kemetic science. That means the highest order of Haitian voodoo, whatever, Ifa, whatever titles you want to put on it. I know how to cast spells, etc., whatever. I was talking to one of my elders. This how deep this stuff gets, as far as energy, spirits, and your chi. I was talking to my elder on the phone. I step out the door, and there's a black man, and that's what he was, a black man. He was dead. His energy was dead. He was just blacked all the way out. I could see death in his eyes. And he's standing at least 7-8 feet away from me, and he just keeps staring at me. And I asked him, I say, what's up? I'm on the phone, but I see you have this dark energy and you're mugging me. And he stepped like 3 more feet to me. I told my elder I'll call you back because this is weird. I asked him again, what's up? And he says, I'm sorry. I was coming to rob you. I don't want to rob you. I want enlightenment. So this brother was really coming to rob me. This is a brother that I did a ritual for 3 days ago before I left North Carolina. My empress and all them seen him in the room. I just ain't tell them this is the same one that was coming to rob me at gunpoint. Had the gun in his jacket and everything. when I tell you that knowing your higher self and your chi and the energy you put out can protect you more than you praying to some false god or the chi is everything. It's energy. It's your aura. It's protecting yourself. You are what you put out. You manifest, that's what you might get. Be careful what you say, that's what you might get. Now the brother that was coming to rob me, we're pretty close. I don't believe he's gonna do nothing harmful to me. He was just in a state of mind where he became dead and he allowed different energies to go into his portals. You have to be careful of who you talk to and who you around because it's called transfer. These energies transfer. You start talking negative, your kids start talking negative. Everybody start talking negative. Fuck it. We on demon time.
I hate that. I don't hate it, but I don't like when people say that. I don't like that demon time. I don't like that.
So you got to understand that you control your aura, but the highest principle is yourself. I go up and down on a scale, and sometimes people get to me. I say, fuck it, no, I'm gonna come off my throne today. I'm gonna G-check some of you niggas because you don't know no better. Fuck it. That's how I duel with demons all day long. I do. And sometimes you have to bring this gangster light, as I call it. It's called the GL, the gangster light. Because they don't respect your peaceful light. So now you just got to expose these demons with all this light. You know what? Y'all in the darkness, fuck it. We're going to light this bitch up a little bit. Poof, 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 poof. Be gone. You out here procrastinating, saying you this. Poof, 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 poof. Be gone. Light that ass up a little bit. We're going to shed some light out here. They're going to know that you out here a traitor, a coon, and the whole 9 yards. Bust that light up in a little bit. I really believe I'm Ghostbusters in the flesh. All of this is symbolic. I'm going to find them demons. You fucking with me now. We're going to find your ass and we're going to shed some light on you. That's how it has to work. It's a war in the physical, the mental, and the spiritual. You got 3 wars that you fighting at one time. Some of these demons, they don't want that physical contact, so they're going to stay behind that computer screen. And if they ever come in physical contact with the light, that's their ass. And what you got to understand is, as a leader and as a chief, you are a servant to your people. You must enlighten your people. You must elevate your people and grow. You have to pay attention to the church. They're not there to make more ministers. Because if I make more ministers, that means I'm losing money. And it's simple as that. I don't want to get no free money away. So I need to keep these people passing around the pot, dropping them dollars, giving them little pieces, and going about my business. Same thing in the Moorish Temple of America. You got 1,000 members and only made 2 grand sheets. Something ain't right. You ain't expanding. You making a bunch of puppets. I don't want a bunch of puppets around me. I need leaders. You got me, I got you. Listen, we gonna rock this thing out. Don't even worry about it. They don't even know what they sign up for. They think you the master, I'm the slave. Sometimes they think I'm the slave and you the master. It don't matter. Just know we're gonna air their ass out. And we have to be able to play that position. I want to pop out as, oh yeah, that's the big chief. Y'all need to, if I come to your state, listen, I'm falling in line. I ain't got no choice but to. You know your state better than me. What the hell I look like coming out there trying to demonstrate in a place that I know nothing about? You out of law. Nobody's teaching their people properly. North Carolina, man, listen, I got that thing in a chokehold. I know their laws, I know how they operate, etc. Why would somebody come from Oklahoma to North Carolina trying to demonstrate in a place they never been? That's like me being in Chicago. I'm trying to master this city, everything about this. This city's so damn big. I'm like, damn, I got a lot of learning to do. Their laws are even different.
Oh man, you about to go through some stuff, man. Yeah, that
The,
laws real
the
good.
marijuana is legal. That's a good thing. But the police are more fucked up than North Carolina is. So you gotta understand that every state comes with a different realm. It comes with a different entity. It comes with a different vibe. These people don't even greet you in the store, your own kind. Hey, how you doing? Welcome to Home Depot. These motherfuckers are mugging. Nigga, can I get some fucking service? I've been in here 10 minutes. You just looking at me. Peace, love, brother. I mean, I'm not your enemy. He is. So you gotta understand our people has a different vibe in different places. So we have to be able to become leaders in our own home state and master our own home state. What's the Virginia Constitution, North Carolina Constitution, et cetera, et cetera. Who's the mayor? Who's this? Who's that? Once you get this shit down pat, you need to start making visits. Start meeting these people. Let your face get known a little bit. They become shooken. You don't even have to tell these people nothing. Mary Baldwin, I know you the mayor of Raleigh. We done sat down before. Better watch how you talk to me, because you know we done been around each other. You don't know if my people know where you at and your people know where I'm at. It's a mafia peace treaty just with that dialogue right there. Get your people off my ass and go find somebody else to fuck with. How about that? Or I really start exposing what's really going on behind this motherfucker. And these people need us. Even if y'all start getting into this politician stuff, even touching the bag ain't nothing. When I tell you these politicians would throw out mad money to you just to run around there and put their sign in a fucking yard, they would cash you out quicker than your job would cash you out. When I run around election meeting all these different government officials, they was paying me at least $1,500 to $2,000 a week and giving me money to pay my team to put their signs in the yard. Go vote for Jimmy Dean. Yeah, put that sign over there. Fuck these niggas. Let's get their money and keep it pushing. I don't give a fuck who win. It don't matter anyway. Y'all still against my people. But you can go ahead and cash us out. Don't worry about it. Because we're going to take this money, we're going to buy some land, and eventually we're going to have our own little township. Don't worry about it. So you have to be able to maneuver through this system and manipulate them just as well as they manipulate you. I understand how some of these people made it to the positions they in, and there was Moors. That's because they manipulated the system. And you might think some of these people sold out, but they did. They ain't get these people no information. Just because they placed a sign on the yard and got that little back fee money, that don't mean they sold out. That means they conned the nigga that paid them. Now, when you get out here and start talking about go get vaccinated and you know, now you're paying to be a fucking coon. You're just a paid out puppet. So we have to understand that the people that has the most power right now are the Freemasons. But once you tap into who you are, these people have to submit to you because you're the original. You're not the duplicate. I am the original. who owns the land? The title or the title of color? The title of color is not the original. The title is. How do you pay for water? Did man make water? Or is man made out of water? Which one? These are stuff that you have to go back and research and think about yourself. Now there's 4 men that I want you to go back and I want you to come back. Because I'm not going to give you everything. I have to give you information so you go back and research yourself. Because me just telling you, that doesn't do nothing. You researching and you apply these lessons to yourself, that'll do something. There's a book that you will have to go get. It's an ancient book. The book is called The 5 Rings. The five rings is very powerful.
You talking about the Echan?
Yep.
Got it already.
What was it about?
Lucy Chong, I forgot how to pronounce his name. It's only one person that wrote the 5 rings. That's an ancient Chinese man. But that is a book that you must read, understand, and master. Also, the 48 Laws of Power, if you ain't read that either. If you want to get into this crazy stuff, these books I read when I was a juvenile, like really. The other one is Behold the White Pale Horse, which is a Masonic symbolism sentence. If you don't have Behold the White Pale Horse, you might want to get it before they take it off the shelf. Because they're already dumbing it down, they're remodifying it, they're taking pages out of it, et cetera, et cetera.
I just got that too.
Where
I had
they,
to read that.
oh, yeah, you got it. Oh, man.
Literally, I had to read that.
Also, Dr. Malachi York books are being removed off the shelf. Some of them have been removed off of Amazon already.
Also with that, because me and my group just recently talked about this, they are taking books, especially where it relates to our people, and really jacking the price up. I mean, when I tell you jacking the price up, I mean, there is a book right now that I'm trying to get. The paperback is $900, just the paperback.
I'm trying for 6, and that's crazy. Yeah.
The book I just paid for, Xavier said I can get any Dr. Malachi York book. You mean the books that's listed? Because there's certain books that's no longer listed.
I can get scrolls. I can get pretty much anything. I'm like really in tune. That's why I invited you on with the elders, and I got most on my Facebook. But yeah, like I actually like talk to them.
Yeah, I got the scrolls. I got the holy tablet. All that I got that from his wife. His wife. What is her name? She's still with the Nawabian Moors. Like, I know the real story behind Dr. Malachi York, the accusations, etc., how his son turned on him, etc., etc. But there's another book that he wrote that they will not, it's not even on the internet. She said she only has 2 copies left. And I'm like, how much do you want for that copy? And she like, can't give it out. And I'm like, well, go print it off for him. I'll pay for the paper copy.
What's the name of it?
The book is it's written in Hebrew. Um, but it's really the book in English is called The True Message from God. The True Message from the Elohims. But it's a book that he never published, but she was supposed to publish, but they declined it. And then actually the FBI took the book and left it in a locker. And she was told that if this book ever got put out, then, off with the weasel. But I caught wind of the book due to one of my elders being a direct student of Dr. Malachi York. As my daughter Anubis that's upstairs, that's her great uncle. I'm not related to her, but she's related to him through her mama, Allegra York. So that's one book. If you can get it, paper copy, whatever, get it. I don't know, she going back and forth with me about that book. So I guess she don't want to be put out, or they know if it came out or anything got exposed from the book, it was through her. So I respect it. It is what it is. If I get it, I get it. I don't, I don't. Most books I can get it offline because my elder has a online library, and that he has a database where a search engine to turn any book to a PDF form. So that's how I really got a lot of books through PDF. But me, I don't like PDF. I like physical copies.
Physical, yeah, man.
Um,
Who's that? Email can get deleted everything. Damn what?
as a chief, you have to know the Constitution of your state. This is the North Carolina Constitution. You need to know the United States Constitution. When you get time, I will sign you up for the human rights boards so you can establish a human rights organization that's backed by the United Nations, and you get all the proper material for your state.
Question. I'm gonna need two of those because I'm bouncing forth between Virginia and Georgia.
So you need a North Carolina Constitution. I will have the secretary send it to you.
I need a Virginia, I need a North Carolina, and I need a Georgia.
Write that down. GA, BA, NC. Got you.
All right.
So for this class, I'm going to yield the floor. I think I gave y'all lessons. I hope y'all wrote it down. The assignment you got to come back with. Anybody got it?
Oh, you talking about the melatonin one?
Yes, assignments I have is come back with the Genesis summary, Genesis, the spirit of a Genesis, the what's well the state constitution.
The Constitution is for the benefit of y'all. It's not for the benefit of me.
And
Something you should know.
The breakdown of Genesis and the family tree breakdown, ain't it? Like
Your bloodline.
Bloodline.
I
Now,
know
when you
that.
say that, do you mean like ancestry, or like people per, or like
Ancestry can't give you a direct bloodline because my sister did it, and that shit is bullshit. When I went to pull the state library proves different. So somebody's lying. On the record, my granddaddy is John C. Freeman. Ancestry, it says George C. Freeman. I believe my grandma know who her daddy is. But sometimes that's why it gets wicked, because word to mouth. These people change documents. They all alternate stuff all the time. I gotta do I have it with me? You ain't gonna be able to see it. I'll take a picture. I got a family tree. Y'all really gotta start getting into this stuff. Like building family trees, type it up, write it up, put it on the wall, learn who your children is, your grandparents, your cousins. Do this yourself while you're still here. Shit, I'll make my family pay me for a family tree with all our names on it, because y'all ain't do the work, but you gonna want a piece of that. So these are things that you need to go ahead and establish yourself. Now, I mean, these people got a database on you. Why ain't you got a database on your own bloodline? Like, what's really going on? Take time to really get into your family history and dealing with your children and their emotions and what they got going on and how you feeling today or what you think about that. Your child, I am you and you are me, in so many words. Don't they act like you a little bit? You act just like your mama. You act just like your daddy. Well, I guess we reincarnated all over again. It scares me looking at my son, because he act just like me when I was little. I be like, shit. If that ain't me in a higher and more advanced, that's crazy. So your bloodline, get on top of that. Genesis, I want y'all to come back with a full report. At least type up 3 paragraphs, at least.
When is this due by?
Saturday.
Got you.
Constitution, that is on you to learn the constitution of your state. That doesn't benefit me. I know I get Georgia, Virginia, North Carolina to Israel. I want y'all to look up the Holy Seas and tell me what's weird about the population.
You said the Holy Seas, spelled S-E-A? Or yeah, S-E-A?
Uh-huh.
You said look them up and look them up and do
Tell me what's weird about the Holy Seas population. I guarantee you it's 1,000. And it been 1,000 and it ain't never changed.
Like it says, it's 804 as of Thursday.
You gotta go to the holy city. Are you looking at the country or the holy place? The Vatican.
Mhm. Go ahead.
Oh no, it is 1,000.
Huh?
It is 1,000.
Yours don't light up. Yeah, yours is white. That's why yours is so illuminated.
Coats and arms. You know what that is?
You mean coats of arms as in family coat of arms?
Are they christening? Why they got a populate? Why the population is only 1,000?
Because you can't let the capacity over 1,000 into the holy city. They know everybody that comes in and out of that city. And if you work in the city, you come on a worker visa and you got to get the hell out. You got under an hour to get out that city, or you can be assassinated. Ain't nothing nobody can do about it because it's under the Vatican. And everybody that's in that city is an appointed official. They the archbishops or potential popes. So this what I want y'all to do. So I gave y'all homework, right? Now I'm gonna give you a physical activity to do. It ain't gotta be long. I want you to go visit the Roman Catholic Church and go get some information on the Archbishop. That's gonna be the crazy shit. And go with your headdress on and see how they treat you.
Said like you just go to any Roman Catholic church or
Make sure they're open. See what hours they're open because you want to run into the bishop. He got more juice than the state governor. If you have the ability.
Trying to get me caught up.
You ain't got to get,
You trying to get me caught up, bro?
You just want information. That's it. You just gotta play dumb.
Okay, what kind
so
of
you
information?
want us to go there and do what?
Get information like how do I get involved with the Roman Catholic Church? I was wondering how the structure is set up and what y'all believe in and what type of power you have. Are y'all under the state power or y'all under the Vatican power? Just ask these questions. Like they can't tell you. So you can see for yourself what's really going on. Like I don't want to teach you nothing that you can't go get evidence for. Everything I'm telling you, I done did it already. I tried to get a picture with the bastard. He didn't want to take one.
What else you want us to ask? I got state power, Vatican power, setup structure. What else?
How will one be connected? How is your members protected by being a member of the Roman Catholic Church? Like, what protection and benefits do you have for your members? It might be like you asked too many questions. Well, why would you want to know all this? Well, I'm thinking about joining. Thinking about.
I'm gonna hit him with that. I'm on a class presentation.
Xavier said the number is 801, but that's because the year we in. I told you the highest number is 9. 801, 8 plus 0 plus 1 is what? Pay attention to that 9.
Nah.
But we'll go ahead and close this session out. Everybody has their homework. Outside of this, you should be studying the 101s and finding out what is what. I ain't gonna be hard on y'all like my elders. They make us recite the 101s all the way, 1 from to 101. They ain't trying to hear nothing less.
Man, that's not a bad idea, though. That's not a bad idea.
You can try it. I'm just saying, if you know what you're talking about, it really don't matter to me. But I think every question should be researched. Cause some of them questions, look like somebody's a part of a secret society. Question number 55. And Adam and Eve is the father of humanity, but what happened to Lilith? I mean, you gotta go back and question these things. People don't question these jurisdictions.
I think she don't even. Once she only mentioned. I don't think they only mention her name like once or twice in the Bible. I don't think they even mention her that many times.
Are you asking for a homework assignment, or are you asking do people here know? Because I know a lot about Lilith.
I'm gonna be honest too. Like, the funny thing is like a TV show is the reason I looked up Lilith. Literally.
Yeah,
like,
but these people know about it, but you
Lucifer,
don't. That's the problem. Listen, watch this. This is another
that
book.
Lucifer TV show.
You see this
He's
book?
the one that got me like. Nah,
I can't see it.
It's the background, man. I'm trying to fix it. I see it a little bit, but it's going out.
Yeah, I mean, the book is called Encyclopedia of Spirits.
Now, how much do you want on Lilith, bro? We can go all night.
No, I can't go all night, so I gotta go to work. I can't.
The book that y'all gonna need is Encyclopedia of Spirits.
Which volume?
Judica.
It's my first I ever heard it.
Judica.
Okay, got you. I got a better one for you. The Lilith, the whole Lilith is what is celebrated when we celebrate Easter.
Mortality.
They showed they showed that on Lucifer the show, bro. I'm telling you, they really did. Like that show really. I'm telling you,
So,
that's crazy.
Remember, Lilith is the daughter of the kings and queens of the underworld.
Yeah, she's the mother of all.
demons.
Yeah,
Hey,
Yeah.
a lot of people don't understand the mermaid. Mermaid, which is a Moorish term. You
But
gotta
that
go
came,
back
but
to
that came from that came from the time that Lilith spent in her despair in the oceans and the seas.
y'all gotta get this book, because once y'all get this book, it's gonna open you up.
and what volume you say you was? I didn't hear it cut out.
Cause her angel name is Zariel.
Zalia.
So
It may be pronounced different, but
it's Zalia, but you know with the angels, they make sure the EL's on the end.
right.
So y'all gotta understand that he was an angelic being, just like Lucifer, just like Michael, just like Sapphire, and things of that nature. Like how you know. That's why when y'all deal with the more science, some of y'all got the EL at the end of your name too. It's angelic. But I'm gonna go ahead and close this out. The reason it ain't shut us out because I upgrade to unlimited time, but that don't mean we be up here all night long. Cause it's going on 12 midnight for y'all. So right now I want to close this out and open up the floor. Want to open the floor up for questions and concerns, and hope everybody have their assignment. In order to complete this degree, you have to have your assignment, and there will be some type of exam sent to you this week. Questions that you will have to answer and send back. If you fail, you will not be able to go to the next level. You will have to wait for a makeup class. That means you won't pay any attention and you won't doing your work. That's not my problem. So right now I'm gonna open the floor before we close out. And any questions or concerns or anything anybody want to put on the table, speak now, forever hold your peace.
Can you go over the assignment again, just so I know I got everything?
State Constitution, finding your bloodline, and the book of Genesis to cipher it. That means I don't need you to write me what Genesis said. I want you to break it down and send it to me in simple form.
This is my right here.
Constitution.
And the ones that have the ability to make a visit to the Roman Catholic Church in your district. Now, there's 8 people up here. I expect at least 3 people to make that happen. If we can't get one person to make it happen, then I would have to fail the whole degree lesson. Because that's something somebody would have to literally express what happened when they went through that realm, and that's one ritual place. That shit is shammed up. And these assignments need to be done by Saturday. Our next class will be next Sunday, which throughout the week we'll still build on different topics with the general group. So is everybody clear on the assignment?
Yes.
I mean, I need to hear yes from everybody, because if not, then you can tell me
Yes,
you ain't
sir.
hear me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You want us to go and trace our bloodline, right?
I already know the demonstration with you.
Mine's a little different.
Yeah, you told me, Mo. I'm familiar. I ain't forget. You heard me, Xavier?
Yes.
So basically, what you would do is start off with your children and yourself. You'll start creating a paper trail. Since you can't trace back and it's difficult, then you'll start with your children up to yourself, and you make sure you keep that trace going on, because it'll be beneficial for your great grandchildren. Azrael said Islam. Monica said Islam. Dre said Islam. Xavier.
Islam.
I am waiting on
Islam.
Wow.
So the floor is open. I'm gonna give the floor to everybody from the top to bottom. Just briefly, what you learned. Did you learn? What you think about the first class, and then pass the mic so we can get feedback from everybody, because I'm gonna need people to start participating more, not just regular people. This is a leadership class, and being a motivational speaker and a public announcements and building with the people comes with communication. So the floor is y'all, one by one. You ain't gotta go long. Just drop a couple jewels and pass the mic.
I ain't know so much of the Bible had to deal with masonry. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm listening, tonight was the first night that I ever heard about the chick that y'all talking about. I mean, I grew up in church, but I didn't never really read like the whole Bible. You know, I just kind of got the basic stories that they always preach about in church. So hearing about this woman, I'm like, damn, like it's so much that people don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and when you get done with your degrees, guess where I'm gonna be sending you to?
To the church.
So you can go back in there and see these silly games they playing. I get a kick. I'm telling you, I'll be in there cracking up.
Man, what's
I
crazy?
I might go to church next Sunday. Don't be in there laughing thinking I converted. I'm just going to check out the show.
It's definitely a show.
Definitely a show. Yeah, so I just acknowledge about the information about the holes and the relation to the number 9 as it being the highest number. And yeah, Islam.
All right, so I learned about symbolism, and how deep it really can go if you pay attention to what's going on. I also learned about, I didn't realize that it was a counterpart to Allah either. I didn't know that, so that was new for me. To learn about what you say, all, how you pronounce it again?
Allat.
Allat. That's different.
ALLAT, which Allah didn't come from Allah. Allah was the ancient name for Allah, was a woman, not a man, was feminine. So that's something you might want to research. Allah, you praying to Allah. I'm submissive to the woman. I'm not submissive to the man. The original woman I'm submissive to. My job is to serve and protect women and children. That's my job, by all means necessary. And the input, sometimes you have to let your empress take control. It's okay to let her wear the pants sometimes. That don't mean go put on the motherfucking panties, nigga. That means sit back and let her draw sometimes. And be quiet, because maybe she sees something that you don't see. Sometimes she need to sit back and listen too. Who's next? Are you finished?
Yeah, I'm gonna finish.
Well, I learned about the symbolism what the Empress just spoke on. Maat, I haven't heard that in a while. That's kind of similar to the Prophet Maat. I mean, the duality with man and woman. Also the reprogram yourself, as you were saying before, and pretty much learning Freemasonry and Masonry, because like I said before, my adopted family, they're all like Freemasons. They hid their knowledge. I've seen everything, and then it was taken away from me. They didn't want me to know any of that stuff, and they know everything, and they're so in tune, even down to my first child, my son's her mother. They're Masons. They're all part of the lodge out here. Everyone's like in tune, you know. So I'm picking back up on that. Also, if I'm not mistaken, Nimrod was the first recorded master mason in the Bible. Correct?
Yeah,
No?
that's who they confused with Jesus on December the 25th.
Yep. I can keep going, but yeah, that's pretty much it. All in the pineal gland. I like to let share something that it's a light receiver and a light transmitter of the body. It's the first gland formed in the body, visible 3 weeks after conception. The gland produces a molecule called melanin, and the 3 hormones that come from melatonin, serotonin, DNT, and melatonin. You know, and it aids with the health, well-being, and optimum performance. But yeah, I just wanted to share that. That's it.
It's long. That's deep.
Well, I also wanted to say majority of the Bible is allegory. That's another thing. I mean, we can build on this, but it's allegory within us. We are, like I said before, the universe. It's all about us. When you really look deep, but past all that Freemason crap that they're using against us, you realize it's about you. You realize everything is about you. Well, yeah, that's
God is in self, basically.
it.
It's funny that part that they took out of the Bible, where God actually said, "Don't look for him in a building made of stone and wood. Split a tree, I am there. Lift a stone, there you will find me." That he exists in all places, and to get there, you have to look within yourself and thyself. But it was interesting when going back to the melatonin. I never knew that melatonin actually changes property, or not property. It changes color, in darkness and in light. Melatonin is
It's
triggered by darkness, and production is halted in the presence of light. It's comprised of amino acids, which is blue under light, and it turns purple in darkness. But overall, I enjoyed the class, man. I'm telling you, I'm looking forward to more.
Yeah, it get deeper as we go along. This is just the introduction. Once we get up, it'll go in depth. Yeah, some of this will blow your mind.
Islam.
Islam, I just wanted to speak on the first class because it was informative and you make options for us to think outside the box. But speaking back on the verse that speaks on being both. And I didn't really learn about it until I came to Islam and getting enlightened in 2020. But the thing with us in the flesh is we know our lower self also over our higher. It's easy, it's comfort because the lower self is connected to the flesh as opposed to the higher self being connected to the spirit. And not that it would never not be a time that we need to elevate and connect to our higher self, but now more than ever is the time to get to know yourself. You feel me? To forgive yourself, talk to yourself, whatever you need to do with yourself to enlighten yourself and connect with your higher self, because we are both, and it is a balance. Everything is dual. Can't have one without the other. But just as humans, we fall victim to our lower self. So that's all I wanted to stay on that. I mean, how y'all elevate, and tap into your higher self so we can complete our mission. Islam.
Islam, everyone. Class was very good, very informative, very long. I didn't think it was gonna be this long, but when you're doing good work and you're getting good knowledge, like you said, we can go on all night. I'm got a little insight on the spiritual uplifting. When a lot of people, like the chief said, a lot of people say they spiritual, but when you're really spiritual, you're really in tune with nature, your body, etc., etc. And I also learned today, got a better understanding with the signs and symbols, and regardless on what your faith is, it all reverberates back to one, whether you doing Islam, you doing Catholic, Baptist, Catholic, Islam, it all reverts right back to the symbols and the signs. And that's what I got today. It was pretty good, Chief.
Islam. Well, I hope the information was very productive and applicable to everybody. That's why I did the class for people that want to step up, but you got to know what you're talking about, and you got to know who you're dealing with when it comes to this government. Why? Anybody else? I think that's everybody. It's okay. Well, I believe that's everybody. Peace, love, Islam, Hotep, peace and light. We'll go ahead and close this out. I hope everybody has their lessons for the week. Needs to be in by Saturday. Et cetera, et cetera. So we'll adjourn this session. Hopefully somebody make it to that Catholic church because I really want to see what happens. How that'll work out. Also study your one-on-ones because that's part of your degrees as well. I'm not telling you everything on it is right. I'm telling you everything's on it wrong. That's for you to do your research. Another thing I would drop on you, my Empress enlightened me today. And I think I'm gonna do some research and hit the city one of these days because I'm in Mecca. The Grand Major Temple of the Morsans, Temple of America, the picture you see Noble Drew Ali in, the building that he owned is no longer owned by the Morsans, Temple of America. It was bought out by the Roman Catholic Church. So I'm gonna let that just sit on y'all mind. I bet the Moors ain't researched that, did they?
Heavy.
They ain't sign up for that.
I am in Chicago, so I'm gonna get down to the gritty.
Yeah, works to do.
Somebody's lying. That's all I'm gonna say. Somebody's lying.
Yeah. Infiltration. Stop the bleeding.
I'm starting to think these people lined up the Empress too. So, if that do come to the light, I hope y'all know what's gonna happen behind this one. I'm just being real. But let me do my research. Let me get down to the gritty. Because if these people have something to do with that and something to do with that, and that's an act of war. Murder the prophet, then you sell his property to the Roman Catholic Church.
I Googled on Google Maps 3603 Indiana Ave, and there's nothing there, just a fence with grass in it.
I'm in Chicago right now. We can literally drive over there right now. And I'm going to see about these tombstones. So my Empress said that he has more than one graveyard. So which one did you put his body in?
See, the thing is, he probably didn't put his body in either one of them.
Well, maybe he never got buried. Let me do my homework. I ain't going to hold y'all up all night. Let me do my homework while I'm out here in Mecca. We're going to see what's really going on. And they don't know I'm out here at all. So don't tell these people I'm out here. Because if they know I'm out here, they're going to try to move a certain way. But I come to get the treasure, and that's what I'm coming to get. The L days is in the building. But peace and love. We're adjourning this meeting. We can continue to build. I'll be up for a little bit. But I'm going to go ahead and get off here. And drop some the stuff y'all learned, drop it in the chat group so y'all can drop jewels on the bros, the Moes, the Mobites and the Moabs that won't ready to tap in.
See, when I do that, I always get in trouble with people, man. You try to set me up.
Yeah.
You be trying to set me up, bro.
Why? Cause they gonna be trying to argue.
Hell no. Especially when it gets to talking about stuff like Lilith and shit like that, bro.
They're not ready. I mean,
Really
I
not
say
ready.
go. I want to drop the bomb on them. Fuck it. Let's see how y'all react. Fuck it. But I ain't gonna hold y'all no longer. I'm gonna go ahead and close this out.
Peace, love, Islam, and Black Power family.
That power
Love
is
all
love.
y'all.
Peace and light.
Peace and light.
Peace and love.
Peace and love.
Trying to read this message. What did it say?